Well, springtime is upon us. The exciting day when we open the pool is here, and I'm going to document this just like I documented closing the pool. So just a little bit of prep I already did. I've already gone around with my leaf blower and tried to get as much of the excess stuff off the top as I can. And you know, over the winter we get a lot of accumulation around these straps, so I've tried to blow as much of that away as I can. That's, you know, one key step. I've also got my parts, everything I need. I blew up some inflatables here. We actually use those to help us get the cover off the pool. I also uncovered enough of the pool that I could pump some of the excess water off. Before you actually want to start the pump up, you want to get your level, you know, at least a good point so you're below at a proper level for the skimmers to work. So that is done. You can see some algae and stuff here. This is actually the place in the pool where the algicide has the most difficulty getting to. So I'm not surprised I've got algae buildup in here. And I did brush some of this off already. So it'd be interesting to see what it looks like once we get the cover off. You know, really, the process of closing the pool correctly, getting the right chemicals in there is more important and more critical than actually what you go through when you open it. So the one thing I do through the course of the winter is at 3 different points, maybe November, February, and then again in maybe April, I dump algicide into the pool. Now, the algicide gets, I don't know if you can see my finger, there's a drain. There's a drain over there in the cover. I put it right in there. And unfortunately, it doesn't circulate, right? Because the water's not moving. So it doesn't necessarily get everywhere it needs to get to, but that is a key step in making sure you don't get a lot of algae growth before you open up the pool. So once my help gets here, we'll kind of go through the process here. I'll try and record some of it as best I can. And I'll talk you through it here roughly. Step 1 is get the cover off. Getting the cover off means we have to go around and pop off all these straps off the anchors. We'll typically start on the far side of the pool. Once we've got that side freed up, you'll see us throw some inflatables underneath over there just to make sure that side of the cover doesn't, you know, start to sink down in the water too much. And then we'll work around on this side, because what we do is we pull the cover from, you know, pull it in this direction, and we do over folding over here. So, you know, it's that far side that's, you know, over the water the most, and it has most apt to sink in the water. Once it sinks in the water, it gets to be a real challenge pulling it out. But we'll pull it out. As we're pulling it out, we'll fold it. And, you know, once we've got it all the way out, we can straighten that out and, you know, get it rolled up. Then we'll have to go around and, you know, seat all those anchors, get them out of the way so we're not always tripping over them. And I'll probably use a broom. Get all the, you know, excess stuff kind of brushed away from the pool. You're going to see it's very filthy underneath where this cover is over top of the deck. You know, that's just all part of the process. And then we'll start working on going around, taking all those caps off of the outlets and stuff, replacing them with nozzles, you know, kind of get everything to the point where we can try to start the pump. Decided just to try and organize the fittings here, because there seems to always be a little confusion here, but these are all for the outlets. So in other words, when the pump is pumping water, the water's entering the pool through these outlets. Those outlets are what are capped right now. This is an older one, all discolored. I bought a bunch of new ones last year after we had the new liner put in. So I suspect this one's extra and extraneous. These are actually the outlets at the spa outlets that go by the steps on the other end. This is the fitting for the vacuum pump connection. So I got those ready and organized. Baskets here. Got 2 skimmer baskets, one new one, one older one. Really should get another one, replace that. And I've got a new skimmer basket for the pump. And I think I'll just use that, start using that this year. Also got my tools for popping the cover off those anchors. Got the original one I got when the pool was new, and I've since bought another one. The end of these things over time, you know, takes a real beating. So I just got another one. But, you know, they work. So you just saw me go around, take another pass at trying to clean the top off, clean the cover off. General rule is any dirt that's on the cover is going to end up in the pool once you're done getting the cover off. So I try to get as much stuff off the top as I can. So you can see just from the fact I went around and popped some of them off, you know, the cover went down and starting to sit on the water there. So hopefully I didn't go too far with that, but I think we're all right. So you saw what I did with those little flotation devices. Just threw them under the cover. That helps the cover from sinking down, getting away from us. I got a couple more we'll get under there once the other straps come off. There it is. I try to put as many of these down as I can to avoid tripping them all. I figure the sooner I get them sunk in, the better. Kind of see all the dirt that accumulates on the deck over the winter. That's why I always power wash the deck. Once I got the pool all cleaned up and working, then I move on to power washing. I do all the power washing before I mount the ladder, the diving board, you know, the railings, before I bring out the furniture. So it's just part of the process. Okay, I'm over by the pump now, and I'll try to capture this as best I can. If you go back to my closing video, you might be reminded of some of this, but basically I have to disconnect here, over here by the pump, and over here long enough to move this out of the way. We've got a plug in here that's got to be removed before we can start anything up. So let's start it with that. Okay, so disconnect. So the plug is over here. There we go. That's what we need to take out. Set it up there for the time being. I think with that being done, I can put these back together again. Sometimes there's actually an O-ring in here at each of these joints, and just, you know, I think they were all recently replaced, probably last year, so I think they're okay. But if you ever have leaks at these connections, it's just probably the O-ring needs to be replaced. All right, try not to lose all these things. Together. All right, so I just got situated over here where I was already working, but I got these gloves on. Protect me is better. These gloves, so they're snug. Okay, now let's go in the skimmer. So in the skimmer, we keep the plugs for the pump. So these are the drain plugs on the pump. So I put these back on. And over here, oh, there it is, I see it. Down here. Okay. It's covered up by a spider web. Okay, I'm going to replace this basket. Go. It's a new basket. Leave that off because we have to prime the pump before we start it. All right, now hit some of the other odds and ends here. First thing, or next thing, would be to close this shut-off valve. Remember back in the fall, we left that open. Drain shutoff on the heat pump, which is right in there, was already closed, and we need to open up the brominator and fill that with bromine. All right, just you saw me open up the floor suction over there, and I opened up the on the output side, just the return line at this point. So just a matter of putting water into the pump enough that it will prime. Now, this is just pool water I'm using. Yeah, I'll try to start it. I don't know if I will at this point, but so we turn this on. And I need to close this up. Yep. Well, yep. Is it pulling water? It is. It's pulling water. All right, so we're going to pump a lot of air out now. Any air that's remaining in the lines go out through the returns. You can see that there. All right. All right, so that's running. Let's see what we got here. I guess we can open up the skimmer. Just got to suck more air in. Let's see if it takes it. All that air that was in the skimmer. We lost our prime. Okay, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to put some more water. Now with that skimmer line open, see the water's disappearing here, so I'll just keep adding water there. Trying to backfill the air in those lines. So you got some good looking worms came up there. through the pipes. That's a brand new basket there. Let's give her a whirl. See what happens. Yep. All right. Maybe not. There it goes. There we go. All right, we're pumping now. Now, next thing I'm going to do is open this very loose thing here. Watch out, it's put right at me when it's full. That'll help the filter to fill up. So we just let that blow off until we got water coming out of it. I look around for leaks. I don't see a leak at any of these 3 joints. That's unusual. I normally screw something up. They seem to all be good. A little dripping out here at the bottom of the drain plug in the brominator. Probably just this isn't tight enough. Yep, that was all it was. So over here, we've got, you should be able to identify which one is the return now.
All right, so the one that's the return, I'll get water shooting out of.
Yes. The other one, I haven't opened that valve yet. Which one's the return and which one is the vacuum? That's the return.
You want me to keep that uncapped?
You can uncap it. You just shouldn't feel anything because the valve's still closed.
Yeah, there's nothing coming out.
Okay, so all you were getting was air. Okay. This is what you can expect when the filter's full. Now you can close that. All right, so we're moving on to chemical phase here. I'm going to shock the pool with some chlorine shock. I'm going to use 2 packets, each packet dissolved in a bucket of water first. And we'll go from there, and then we're going to add some algicide. So that dark green ought to go away pretty quick. When it does, I'll come back out, give you a little more. Okay, it's the next morning. Last night I did do a little bit of brushing. I didn't do a completely thorough job, but I did a little bit. And I can see the bottom over here on the shallow end. I can also see there's quite a bit of accumulation of dead algae and so forth laying on the bottom, which is good. That's what you would expect. Pump has been running all night. I don't see any leaks over in the utility area, which is all good. It's all encouraging. Everything's quiet over here. Keep an eye on the pressure there. That has not gone up any significant amount. Once the filter media gets pretty plugged up, you'll see the pressure start to climb on there, and that's an indication it's time to tear the filter apart and clean it out. But I think next thing I'm going to do is some vacuuming. Yeah, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to brush for a while. If I were to sweep, I'm going to have to brush afterwards. I'll just brush, try to get everything moving down towards the deep end, let it settle out, and then maybe vacuum after that. So I decided to add some clarifier to the pool water. All right, we are 46 hours since we actually opened the pool. And the last thing I did was yesterday I threw in some clarifier. About 5 ounces of clarifier, we got 22,000 gallons of water here. So I have not yet run the vacuum on it. Let's just look down. I can clearly see the bottom here. I can see the dirt is coagulating and accumulating on the bottom, which is exactly what we want to see. You can see it very clearly here. When the sun actually went in. But if I look down here at about a 6 foot, I can in fact see the bottom. It's a little hazy, but I can see the bottom, so I know the water is clearing up. So what I'm going to do at this point is we'll run the vacuum on it and just get the stuff that's on the bottom off the bottom, and then we'll just let it go for another day. We'll see where we're at. Okay, so I finished that vacuuming. I'm not sure how much of that I actually captured, but the bottom is looking good here. It's still hazy. The water's still hazy, but it's coming together. So I'm going to give it another day or two. I'll probably brush shortly, because when I look over along the sides, the concave sides, I can see streaks of where the brush missed. So that's normal. I have to go back and just do that and catch those. I think we're homing in on it. A couple more days, hopefully we'll be close to clarity. All right, I'm back. I vacuumed. Still got some spots on the bottom, so I need to brush this again. But other than that, it's looking really good. So I set my timer. I'm gonna let this thing cycle, let the pump cycle off now overnight. And I'll give this thing a good brush. And maybe tomorrow I'll be able to do another vacuum, and we should be getting close to ready to go. Good morning, day 5. Just out here checking the pool yesterday. I did vacuum and I did brush. I see a couple spots yet where I could brush a little better, but overall it's looking pretty good. The pump is currently not running. I'm trying to get the timer set up correctly. I can see to the deep end. Clarity's not perfect yet, but that's probably just a day or two of run time. It will be there. I see some more places where I could brush some more, but we're really close here. Here we are, exactly on day 7. Pool's ready to go, ready for our first party. We've got the deck is all clean, the railings are out, diving board's installed, and the furniture is out. We're ready to go.